Sure. Okay. So last session was my first session back after uh, one being gone for one. So I don't remember if you guys had met him, but I think we all met as a group last session. Our new character, Isaac Darby, brother of Egg, has strolled into town. So that was probably like the biggest thing at the very beginning of last session that happened. Um, Also, the fact that Beldum is another person or something. I'm trying to remember the cliff notes of all the stuff you guys told me that I missed. So, like, that kind of like feed into it. But Beldum is another person in her body because she's now the ward and is now ruling Treetop and doing her own thing as Rumble's playing Isaac now. And I think that was like the big beginning thing from last session that I learned. Other than that, we were on the cusp of Spira coming back and trying to figure out what we're going to do. The reason why we met Isaac is because his ship was crashed into by a giant crab that he told us, and we figured out, or we were told that was Spira, the living city moving around. So we had to decide how we're gonna get a boat and how we're gonna get onto Spirit to make the first landing and like kind of scout ahead for the rest of the people to come on and take a look for the rest of the druids and whatnot. We ended up talking with the captain of the Salty Dog and or the Wet Dog, right? And there was some negotiations that I don't believe my character was privy to involving dwarven alcohol or something like this to get us on board. But then there became a little problem when we had to transport a monster as well, and negotiations had to step up a notch, as it were. And yeah, eventually we got it worked out, got onto the ship, and set sail for the giant moving crab city. And I'll pass it off from there.
So, on the beach, we saw a bunch of orcs and their goblins that had shipwrecked, and their stuff was sort of strewn about. So, we started to walk over, and Egg had the great plan of walking up and saying hi in Goblin. So, only the goblins sort of understood, but the orc wasn't having it. So, a fight broke out. And we mostly killed them without too much trouble, but one of the goblins, Egg, talked him down, and then he sent them off as the Crab King, and we looted some stuff from the ship. We then climbed up traveled further into the island off a near cliffside, and we found these giant bird creatures and these giant shrimp, and they were fighting. We watched for a while, and then eventually finished them off, and then kept going, and we found the outskirts of a giant city, but it was pretty abandoned, and but there seemed to be something amiss, and I'll pass it off from there.
With the empty streets and Darby knowing the city, well, knowing cities in general, went off on his way to find booze and left the group alone as they rummaged through a couple of buildings to search for any signs of life. And as the sun went down, a bunch of lanterns in the city lit up, and the group started hearing strange noises, only to find that they were being accosted by wraiths and a banshee who asked Udnar a question with somewhat unfair terms, which led us into combat, where Darby almost died in the session that he was introduced.
For the second time.
Yeah. Not great luck so far. After fighting off the... They're not technically undead. No, they are. After fighting off the undead and making to run away, the group decided it would be best not to be in the city, having seen a watchtower of sorts outside of the city limits. They decided to head that direction and noticed some smoke rising from a campfire. This is where Petalin decided to sneak up and take a look, and group communication fell apart as
My bad.
Petalin goes out and gestures a friendly hello to the lone stranger at the campfire. Darby not knowing what's going on, and one of our members not being able to see in the dark, sprung into action, ruining the poor elf's dinner in the act. After talking down the situation a bit, was that guy's name Norath?
That's what I
Mhm.
have.
Okay, I have like that in one line on my notes, and I didn't write what it was related to. After speaking with Norath, we found out that he was part of the... Geez, I don't even remember the name of that elf
Lothanar.
royalty.
Lothanar elf family.
Yeah, they're from Tolmuina, the Lothanar elves.
I'll write that down and never remember it again. Found out that they had actually found the living city prior to it surfacing, and they were attempting to explore when they were also attacked by the undead. And their prince was taken captive during this time, and Norath was the only survivor. We got some information that traveling during the day seems to be the safest, but they are unsure of what other dangers they may run into. And I think we came to a bit of an agreement that we would assist in attempting to retrieve the prince's body if it exists, as they needed to bring it back for terms of honor. But he then sulked away with no food into his own tiny hut, leaving the group to begin their watch.
Okay, so that pretty much covers everything. So I'm just going to add a few things for color. Starting with when we were still in Treetop and Egg and Darby were catching up in the tavern, Udnar and Petalin had a quick talk about their respective patrons and deities, and Udnar seems to think that there is only one god and was kind of disconcerted by the fact that Petalin had dealings with another. Also, we had decided to tell the truth to the captain of the wet dog, which is why we got charged so much money to bring Follower on the ship with us, but somehow we managed to not sink the wet dog through a conjoined effort to keep him calm and to also patch up the holes that he inevitably knocked in the side of the ship as we were going on. So we managed to not sink. We did find some sweet smoking armor as a smoking plate armor. So not that Egg would wear it, but he would look really cool if he did. And as far as the rest of it goes, Darby almost got thrown off a cliff, but managed to not die. And I guess that's all the color that we need and can start with our long rest now.
No, I want to know what your anticipations, expectations, and/or predictions are. What's something that you expect or hope will happen?
Well, I hope we can get the heck off this island in one piece, but I expect that there's going to be quite a fair bit of debate with Norath if we ever, find a way off the island about how followers coming with us again. So,
Don't everybody speak up at once.
can y'all not hear me?
I can
No,
hear
we
you.
can.
Okay, so y'all heard my expectations? Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking through
Sorry.
my very poor notes.
All right. Well, my expectation is finding out what's going on with this weird undead city. I'm honestly just looking forward to exploring it, and trying not to die would be good. So I agree with that point.
Yeah, I expect to fight some ghosts and just try and learn more about what we're doing, and so that we can kind of form a plan for what we're gonna do with this ghost city. If we're just gonna leave it, or if there's a way to solve the problem or whatever.
I hope we find out what the hell Spear is all about too, and why it was gone for so long. I guess like specifically that would be a cool thing to learn this session, but that might be a more overarching thing finding out later. But whatever.
I don't know. For me, it's mainly what the fuck are the druids doing?
Yeah.
Because they sort of left us to our own devices, and
Sure. So I actually have an answer to that question right away, and I was going to get to it in the watch, but basically it wasn't brought up in character, but you will recall them having mentioned that you have 7 days to yourselves on the island before they arrive.
that's a lot of time to get killed.
More than enough time to get killed.
Plenty of time.
Uh,
At the same time, we can at least expect quote unquote backup in 7 days.
Yeah, true.
Assuming we haven't gotten ourselves killed yet.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the druids have been the most useful in fights anyway, but sure.
And was it mentioned? I don't remember from if it was from Norath or not, but the possibility of like magic mechs that are roaming around during the day.
X?
Just like automatons.
constructs.
Yeah.
Constructs. Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
He had mentioned that they exist, but that in the city's current state, they're very few and far between.
So not completely safe during the day.
Right.
All right. So is that everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our long rest then. Does anybody have anything they want to do other than resting itself?
I was curious about our immediate like scenery of where we
Mhm.
are, because I know before we like climbed up a cliff,
Mm-hmm.
but then it sounded like I don't know if we came to like a beachfront or what, where this elf was.
No, so you guys are maybe 100 meters or so outside of the city limits. Like, so there's the large wall that denotes like this is the city, and you guys are just kind of like at a hilltop where a stone tower has been constructed.
With kind of woods like around.
I wouldn't even call it woods. It's more like it's been cleared defensively. So maybe like plains.
Hmm.
The actual beach is a good distance from where you guys are.
Okay. And was this tower like in complete ruin?
No, it's like still partially standing. I'd say it's like only a quarter ruined.
Were you wanting to like search the tower before we rest, or
More so use it as a vantage point.
like for the watches?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should probably decide watch order and stuff too.
Darby will take first watch.
I can take second.
I can do third.
All right, I'll do last then.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that anybody's looking for on watch?
I mean, ghosts.
Sure.
You're looking for ghosts?
How able to sneak up on me?
Fair enough.
I want to ask Darby about his mysterious hand crossbow that makes a loud smoke and sound and all that.
Yeah, it is rather curious that nobody has asked about that one. I mean, you can go ahead and have that conversation. Everybody's getting ready to settle down for their watch, so this is your opportunity.
So I want to ask him what it is, and it's like, is it like a weird wand, or like I don't see it having tiny little crossbow bolts or anything, so what is it?
It's an awfully curious item. It was a gift.
Okay, but I can't call it a gift. Like, what is it?
It doesn't seem like anything from our realm. I don't know why. I just seem to know how to use it. And he holds his hand out and it just appears in his hand.
Oh. Well, what do you call it? Or do you call it nothing?
Didn't think to give it a name. Maybe I will, but all I know is it gets the job done.
I had a weapon I could pull from thin air too, but it was more of a large sword, not really a weird tube thing. She kind of like attempts to poke at it, but draws her hand back. Maybe give it a name. Something fun. Something noisy.
Terry.
Terry. Bob. Boom Bob.
I mean, boomstick.
Too obvious.
Which, like, if you're that close to where you're gonna poke at it, like in the grip of it, you see engravings of just tentacles wrapping around the grip.
Oh. Very unusual.
With that having been established, through the night, let's see. In the fight itself, who was wounded?
I believe I was.
Because it looks like, actually, it looks like we've already completed the rest. Because
Yeah.
nobody has any wounds.
You
So,
might have hit the
I think-
long rest
Yeah.
button. at
Yeah,
some
because
point.
I'm missing hit dice too. So I think we might have done that at the very end of last session.
Okay. Well, then that's on me, and so I'll eat the bullet there for now. Assume that everybody rolled well on something. Okay. So your night passes rather uneventfully. You don't see any ghosts. There are certainly several interesting creatures that seem to have been drawn to the island and its appearance. More of those winged lizards. You definitely see more of the creatures that North called the Chul. A few other weird, creepy crawlies that make their way into the island, and like you definitely hear, a few orcish screams here and there as it appears that more than one ship was stranded. Just the island is alive with danger, but for whatever reason, it seems as though everything is giving the city itself a wide berth. Almost as though the creatures can sense that something is amiss within. So, unless anybody has anything else, we'll go ahead and call it dawn. Doesn't sound like it. So,
Nope.
As you rise with the dawn and find that Norath is gone from camp, along with the prince's bow, the only signs that there was ever another body in the area last night are the ashes from his campfire and a small folded scrap of paper, which appears to have been placed deliberately in the imprint of the wounded elf's, like where his bedroll would have been within the tent.
I'll pick up the note.
Okay, you are now holding a note.
Is it? I'm assuming it's written in common or elfish, or
It is written in Elvish, which you can read, right?
yes.
All right, so it says, searching for the prince. If you have further questions, meet back here at sundown. Mind the shadows, beware the blades of the forgotten. Do not tread carelessly upon the night road.
Well, that's uncomfortably cryptic.
For the first time since landing, you have a spare moment to lay eyes on one of the greatest cities of the Sundered era. Meticulously crafted elvish architecture blends seamlessly with dwarven ingenuity and human resourcefulness, stretching from your lonely hilltop tower to the horizon and beyond. Even as it is now, trapped in time and lifeless, it is breathtaking. To have seen the gilded peaks and rose-stone archways when life coursed through its streets must have been awe-inspiring. But this is where your day begins.
Seems like a big city. I guess we should start looking.
Do we know what we're looking for?
So I think last night or last session or whatever, he told us roughly what areas he's searched already. So we should probably, I'm just trying to remember what he said.
I
think-
have southeast part of the city written down.
That's-
but I think
yeah.
maybe that's not right.
I think he said that even in the, as long as he's been searching, he's only maybe covered 25% of the whole city. So
Something like that.
that's,
And that was when it was more than just him.
oh Christ. Okay. So we can't go house by house because that is going to take us the rest of eternity to do. Yeah, we have to come up with a plan of what to look for right away, I guess. So the prince is probably in the middle, right? That we decided like in the, I'm trying to remember what they said it was, like the big building was in the middle or like at the very north of the city. I can't remember.
It's like the city is centralized, so it has a heart.
Right.
And
Yeah. Okay.
You can see actually from your hilltop. You can see that it appears that there are other than the outer wall, there are 3 more walls that rise, deep within the city itself, separating out certain sections.
Sure. So I think that's our end goal, is to reach the heart of the city. Um, I'm almost wondering if today we just do a scouting mission to see what's in store for us, like see how far we can
Right.
get safely,
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
and then return, like how far we can get in, and then return back safely, and then we can think of another plan with the elf tonight.
Right.
I like this plan.
Okay. So you guys
Do a
want
little
to
recon.
basically get in, maybe poke your head into a couple of buildings in each area and just see how far in you can get.
Pretty
Mhm.
much, yeah. It's like a
Okay.
recon mission.
Sure.
Maybe pick up some stuff from the posh part of town.
Okay. Anything specific that you guys want to have done or prepared beforehand? Or are we ready to go?
Ooh. Think I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm just looking through my stuff. I'm ready as well.
All right, I don't hear any protests, so venturing in. Slipping through the cracked city wall once again, you are immediately overwhelmed by the stillness of the area. Just a few feet behind you on the other side of the wall, a breeze from the sea stirs the air, small birds chirp in the alien trees, and the sounds of monstrous wildlife drawn to the immense power of the crab that is Spira all combine to sing a natural serenade of life. Yet, here on this side of the wall, it all seems to die away to nothing. The sound of your own breathing and that of your companions is almost deafening by comparison. Breaking the silence in an almost offensive chorus is the occasional rattle of chain links, the clatter of weaponry on armor, or the rustling of a backpack being adjusted. You begin making your way deeper into the city with Ernest, passing by the small thatch houses and work homes of what must have been the city's lowest caste in what you explored yesterday. It was here that you had your first encounter with the remnants of Spira's residents, and you get the feeling that these homes are all going to be left in identical states of emptiness, as though the lives of those who existed here were suddenly snuffed out without even a moment's notice. After an hour straight of traveling through the living city, you finally exit the outskirts into what must have been a residential area for the working caste. The red marble stonework, naturally interwoven with the alien black trees to form each building, is a hauntingly beautiful sight as the learned among you can marvel at the marriage of the three races' architectural ingenuity. Even the cobbled stone streets are a delight to look upon as they cast a rainbow of color upon the city when the sun strikes them. Truly a sight unseen since before the sundering. Further evidence that this was still yet a lower caste area, though, is evidence of racial blending. The signs on the few shops you've seen, being written in both Elvish and the Common Tongue, is not what you might expect for a city ruled with the reportedly elitist puritanical drow. It's here that you first get the feeling that you're being watched, with the hairs on the back of your neck pricking up as you turn a corner near what appears to be the storefront of a smithy and his neighboring jeweler. What do you do?
What time of day is it again?
Early.
By now? Early?
It's an hour after dawn and a few minutes.
I mean, this seems like the obvious first step. I'm gonna just stop moving and just kind of like take in the surroundings and look around.
Okay. As you cut your eyes from side to side, hoping to find some small trace of what it is that has its eyes on you, there is a very brief moment where you feel that you definitely stole a glance of something before it ducked away. But as your eyes focus, there is indeed nothing where you were looking. Other than that, you are in a small residential square or working square, and the descriptions that I gave are pretty much what match what you're looking at.
So it would be like kind of like a market area sort of thing.
Yeah,
But
like
a
a
more
low caste
rundown one.
market.
Yeah.
Not even run down so much. It's just like not the elite ruling class. Like this is the working there or the low working caste.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like this is where humans would be in an elf city.
Right.
I'd like
And-
to duck into the smithy real quick.
Okay. Anybody following?
Yeah,
Me.
I would definitely go as well.
Yep.
All right.
Stick together.
As you step beyond the wooden awning, past the great black anvil and a long dormant forge, you find yourselves standing inside the smithy's storefront. Hastily scrawled notes in common denoting item descriptions and various prices further entrench the idea that this was an area where two races lived together. As those of you that can read Elvish can see, the same descriptions are written poorly in the more delicate elf script.
I'd like to go over to where the forge is,
Okay.
and I'm surmising that there's possibly charcoal laying around somewhere nearby.
Yeah, probably.
I'd like to pocket a couple of pieces of charcoal.
Okay. Want to do anything else in here?
Can I just glance over the notes and see if any of them describe any of the items as being magical or
Are you
having a
wanting to
magic effect?
Are you wanting to search the store?
Yes.
So why don't you give me an investigation check?
Okay.
Anybody else who's going to be searching as well.
Yeah, I'll probably look around a little bit.
All right. In your search, you find upon the counter is a leather-wrapped bundle of goods, along with a small sack and a badly smudged note that looks to have been some sort of shopping list based on the items that are crossed off. What you can glean from its contents leads you to believe that the shopper was an adventurer of some sort, as they appear to have been picking up a variety of arms and equipment. Another curiosity of the shop is that it appears to have been directly connected to the next door jeweler via a small corridor pathway, leading you to believe that perhaps the two shop owners were close, or at least shared their lease. If you would like, you can pass into the other small shop. But as far as what you were looking for, it doesn't appear to be, or it doesn't appear that anything in here was labeled as magic.
I can go into the jeweler's shop.
Okay.
And is it the same kind of thing where there's notes on stuff?
Well, I'm wondering if anybody else is doing anything.
I would have mentioned to you guys that I felt like we were being watched and that I maybe glimpsed something, by the way. So I'm a little more on edge, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Egg would also be on edge and want to leave at that point.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna like kind of stand watch. Like I'm gonna be looking around half-heartedly, but like keeping an eye out for the shadows moving. Like it's basically, it's literally. So.
All right. So
Egg would position himself to just be in the center of everyone.
So are we ignoring the leather-wrapped bundle of goods and small sack on the counter?
Oh,
I
no,
would
I'd
not
like
be
to
looking
take,
at it.
I'd like to take it. Or undo the leather bundle.
So, well, which is it? Are you going to the jeweler shop or are you taking the things from the counter?
Well, I realize that we don't really have a lot of time to be searching buildings, so I'll probably take the leather
Alright.
bundle.
Taking into the jeweler shop is fine, but
Well,
I
let's
just
start.
You start with the bundle.
Let's start with the bundle.
All right. So as you unwrap the leather bundle of goods, you hear the distinct rattle of metal on metal, and you get the bindings undone, and what you see before you looks to be several odd-looking spearheads. And as you're noticing that, you notice that like beside the counter, what you may have originally just dismissed as like a broom handle is in fact more of like a spear haft.
Huh. I mean, I don't really know very much about weaponry. Egg, did you want to look at this? I mean, you know spears.
Sure, I have 17 spears on me at the moment.
It's kind of my
I'm
thing.
familiar with what a spear is.
Why don't you give me an investigation check at advantage?
All right.
You seriously have 17 on you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's so many.
Those birds had like a lot of sticking out of them.
Oh,
That's how I got so many.
Yeah, so you've never seen anything like this before, but your experience with weaponry and things of that nature lead you to believe that you could potentially affix the blade to this haft quite easily, and that there is a catch on the haft that seems to be like a lever to release it.
I will attempt to do that then.
You take one of the 5 blades, and it does indeed slide easily with a hiss and a click into place on the spear. And now that you've married them together, it's more of like a sword spear than like a thrusting spear.
neat.
Well, that's cool.
And there was just one handle? Or
Yeah, one
haft?
haft, and sorry, 6 blades.
6
Not
blades?
5.
All right.
Are the 5 blades identical?
The 6 blades are all identical,
Oh.
yes.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take that stuff.
Okay.
Well, don't you want to know what that lever does first?
I mean, probably.
Do you pull it?
I will point it away from everyone outside. and
Yeah,
then pull
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. As you pull the lever, you feel like a sudden snap, like jaws closing, and the blade itself shatters.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
5 blades.
Yes, 5 blades.
Sure. Okay.
Boy, that would be bad if it was inside something when the blade shattered.
Well, now I know.
When you put that on your character sheet, as long as it's intact, like it's the 2 pieces, it's heavy, 2-handed, reach, 1d10 piercing or slashing.
Damn. That's a lot of
Dang.
qualifiers.
Can you repeat that?
And,
so I make sure I have it correct.
Yeah, I'll just.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, now I want to go to the to the jeweler shop.
Because for some reason it cuts off the first word sometimes. It's in the D&D chat. Okay, so you head over into the jeweler's area.
And Darby will follow.
Okay. Let me find it. Passing into the other small shop, you see that it too is left in a similar state of time-lost stasis, with intimidating locks visible on each of the elaborate metal lace cages surrounding the wares on display. Most curious among these is the display case beyond what would have been the shopkeep's countertop, displaying a handful of amulets and medallions with intriguing iconography emblazoned or engraved upon them. One that immediately catches your attention is a medallion displaying the sigil of Mordrak with the hand and the swirling galaxy upon his fingertip.
Oh, yes.
Others among them in the amulets and medallions that you can see, one of them looks to be a skull with a flaming background, a hammer with a die, a d6 for the head. You see the galaxy spinning on the finger. There's one with an oak leaf and an acorn, 2 blanks, one with a spider and one with a dolphin.
Darby, you're a
Hold on, I'm not done yet. I lost my place. Oh no, I was done. Okay, go ahead.
so this is in a case that's locked, correct?
Yes.
Okay. remind me, didn't we see Darby pick a lock in the last session? Or no? Okay, so
Yes,
we
I
know that
believe you
you can
did.
pick locks. Okay. Can you attempt to get that open for me, please? I need a thing.
Do you guys want to let Udinar and Egg know what's going on? Because you've poked over and now it's more than just a poke over.
Are they just standing back there?
Yeah, they both said that they were keeping watch. And
Okay.
I imagine Egg is foodling with this weird weapon that he's found while he's on watch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you two. The short one wants me to steal something. We'll be a minute.
Great.
Well, technically, I want to steal something. I need you to open the lock. Please.
So this display case, can I get more of a description of its like build quality, or like how are we seeing the items in it?
Well, it's metal lace, meaning that you can. It's almost like grate, but it's
Okay.
like elaborate and scrolled. It's not just a square grid. You
And I
can see that it
suppose
has
I would like
it
to.
has hinges where once it's unlocked, you just pull the doors open.
Mm, and are there multiple locks on this?
No, this one only has one.
Okay.
In fact, all of the cases that you see only have one.
Okay, I'd like to investigate the lock.
Okay, are you looking for something in particular?
Like build quality of the lock.
Oh,
Like, are we talking like padlock
they-
on it, or?
They are masterwork locks. This being a jeweler shop and being next door to a blacksmith, they're probably about as good as you're gonna find.
Hmm. I mean, I can give the lock a try, but we may be better off breaking the metal on this.
Well, for that, we'd need your brother. I've seen him smash a few locks open before.
In fact, you guys have seen a cage very similar to this once before.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
You guys are also, I just want to point out, skipping over the simplest solution to a lock.
Oh, duh. While you're fooling with the lock, I will search the counter for a key.
You just want to search the counter?
Well, I mean, is there like a back room or anything like that where a desk might be?
Yeah, this is the way the building is laid out is somebody lives here and then they have a shop front as well.
Okay, well then why don't I just start looking for the key?
Sure. And Darby will go fetch Egg.
Yeah. I don't want to try putzing with a lock and breaking it in case she finds a key.
Okay. So roll me your perception or investigation check, Petalin.
Ah, seriously?
And then Darby will, I'm assuming, call out for Egg, or do you pop over?
I mean, we're not that far away. I'll just stick my head through.
Okay. Egg?
We need something that can break open this metal cage. The locks are a bit above what I'm used to.
Well, sure. I probably got something for that.
All right, so Petalin
I'll
is
follow
going
a little
to...
bit behind Egg as well. I don't want to be alone up at the front.
Sure. So you step through the connecting corridor, and now you too will spot the medallions and amulets on the wall. When you do so, you feel a burning on your chest where your own medallion usually sits. Like not painful, just like it's very warm.
Do I feel it like
Even
in
through
my
the
body
clothing.
or like it's touching me?
Like it's touching you.
Hmm. I'm gonna grab
Other than
mine
that, I mean,
and hold it.
okay. It's very warm to the touch, and you can feel it spinning despite it being firmly grasped in your hand. Other than that, like obviously in the other cases and stuff, there's like jewelry and other trinkets and things like that. Just this was the one that caught everybody's attention. Pedalin searching with passive perception. There it is. Okay. Well, passive perception works here.
Huzzah!
In the sleeping quarters of the jeweler's shop, you find a small hidden compartment behind the bed frame, a secret cubby cut almost seamlessly into the wall. As you pull it open, you spy a container hidden inside covered in a thick layer of dust.
Ooh. Is the container locked?
You would have to pull it out to see.
Well, I pull out the secret container.
Pulling it free, you find that the box is small, perhaps no wider than a hand and of similar length. It's made of some sort of ivory enamel painted with a festive red and bright sky blue. In the center of one side is a masterfully painted rendition of a keyhole. It has ornate and seemingly random golden scrollwork inlaid throughout, and the corners are a bare metal polished to a near blinding clarity. The box itself is slightly warm to the touch. It looks as if there's no obvious way to open it, with no signs of a physical keyhole or latch anywhere on the container itself. Nothing else seems to catch your eye as you're searching through the two curiously connected shops.
So I don't know how to open the box. Like, it's not obvious how it opens.
That is what I said.
Mm. Can I attempt to pull on the edges a little bit to see if it'll, just not like violently, just like to see if it's got a lid or maybe it's unlocked in some kind of way?
Sure. Through your basic investigation of the box itself, you try pulling on it. That doesn't do anything. You see if maybe there's a lid that just doesn't have a catch, and that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, I'll take it back to the others.
Pedalin comes back through the doorway from the sleeping quarters to the shop front, holding the small box that as it was described. In the meantime, Egg and Darby and now Udinar clutching his hand around his own amulet, standing around waiting for somebody to make a decision.
So I found this box, and it's got this keyhole painted on it. So I think that there would be keys in it, but it's not clear how to open the box.
Do you want me to hit it? that what
No,
we want?
look at it. It's a piece of art, even.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, I guess I'll just try something. It's probably a dumb idea.
Well, do you even know if the keys are in there?
I do not, but I'm going to try something stupid. All right,
Can you
pick up the-
try shaking it first?
All right, I pick up the box and gently shake it.
As you rotate the box back and forth, you definitely feel something rattling around inside.
Oh, there's something in there. I hold the box up to the lock.
Uh-huh.
Does anything happen?
Yeah, the box is now held up against the lock.
All right, well, that didn't work. Well, let's see. And there aren't any words or anything like that written on the box?
Nope.
Hmm.
Do you want me to give you the description again?
Yeah.
Box is small, perhaps no wider than a hand, and of similar length. It is made from some sort of ivory enamel painted with a festive red and bright sky blue. In the center of one side is a masterfully painted rendition of a keyhole. It has ornate and seemingly random golden scrollwork inlaid throughout, and the corners are a bare metal polished to a near blinding clarity. The box itself is slightly warm to the touch. It looks as though there's no obvious way to open it, with no signs of a physical keyhole or latch anywhere on the container.
Do any of the pieces of golden scroll work seem like, I guess, like they move or twist or shift or anything like that?
Like actively as you're looking at it?
No, like if you were starting to like pull and poke and prod and at different things to see like if different pieces of the box moved,
no.
would they?
No, it doesn't. No.
Okay. Well, I got nothing.
Have you tried asking it nicely?
I mean, no, but I suppose it's worth a shot. Here, you ask it nicely.
I don't particularly do manners.
Take the box anyway.
All right, I guess I will ask it nicely. I've never talked to a box before. Oh, beautiful small box with your lovely masterwork paint and your secrets hidden well inside. Perhaps would you consider opening so that we might unlock your secrets?
Full persuasion?
Well, she makes a fool of herself. Do you have a way to
Golly,
Wow.
break open this metal?
that's 2 in a row. Jesus.
Despite your thrilling speech, the box remains closed.
Are you sure you're using the right language?
You know what? I have some language for you, sir. All right, does anybody else have any bright ideas?
I mean, I think so. Just to not break the facade or anything, I think he literally means, "Have you tried speaking in Elvish?"
No, I got that. It just
Okay.
Thank you, Udnar. I will repeat the same phrase, same speech as before in Elvish.
And the box will repeat itself by staying silent and doing nothing.
All right, so we've established that talking to the box does not work.
Do you know any other languages?
I do not. Not unless it's Gnomish, and something tells me it's not going to respond to that either.
I mean, you could try.
Why don't you try something,
I
Udnar?
don't speak Gnomish.
Well,
Otherwise
neither
I
does
would.
this box.
Did you ask it?
You know what? Why, Egg, why don't you just try hitting the lock and just breaking it?
All right.
Oh no.
Egg.
Wait, so
Pulls out.
we're gonna okay. We have somebody whose job it is to pick locks, and the first option is let's break it.
Well,
All right,
he
go for it.
declined. He's not even gonna try.
Right. Okay. Got it. Now I understand.
Oh, I mean,
He
I
pulls
don't
out
know
his
why,
hammer. He was
I don't
sold
know
to
why
hit a
Darby.
thing.
I don't know why Darby wouldn't just attempt to pick the lock.
I mean, if you really want me to make an effort, I honestly think it'd be quicker to break the whole case open.
All right.
Egg has his
Dar-
hammer above his
Yeah.
head, waiting
So
for a confirmation.
All right. Egg swings his hammer as hard as he can, hoping to just simply shatter the cage. As the hammer makes it's a normal hammer.
It's a warhammer.
Yeah.
Normal.
But it's not mad. Okay. So
No.
the hammer strikes the cage, and there is just like a dull, quiet thud. And Egg drops the hammer. His arm is numb.
Ow.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, I tried.
Seems to make
Didn't
sense. If they would have that good of a lock, they might have some magic protecting it as well.
All right, well, back to this box.
Do we have anything in the inventory that would... Looking through.
If you're really stumped, you can roll investigation, and I could give you a hint if you roll well.
Well, I've rolled 2 ones in a row, so...
Gambler Sassy means that you're due a 20.
Well, I guess there's nothing to lose.
All right. Darby and Petalin both check out the box. Petalin, you notice that the golden scrollwork, which originally, seemingly random, still looks like it's very odd. There's almost no patterning into it whatsoever. But as you're turning the box and taking a look at it and just trying to get some sort of feel, you notice that the 4 corners that are so heavily polished is just like you can very clearly see your own reflection in them.
Can you read that back to me again?
I just said it. I didn't.
I'm trying to take notes here.
I didn't write it. That's not something I wrote down. I don't know.
Well, all I got out of that was they're not super random, and you can see your reflection in the corners. And I just feel
There you
like I
go.
missed something.
No, that's the meat of it.
But they don't move.
No. Anybody else have any ideas? This is where everybody kind of gets together and usually talks through it.
I'm not hitting it again.
How are we overthinking this puzzle?
Well,
I'm happy to read the description again if anybody needs it.
I'll take it one more time. Now that Egg's arm is done being numb, he will put his head to it.
Yeah. I mean, on the arm being numb thing, you almost just feel like all of the impact of the blow was absorbed. It's just nothing really there. All right, the box is small, perhaps no wider than a hand, and of similar length. It's made of some sort of ivory enamel painted with a festive red and bright sky blue. In the center of one side is a masterfully painted rendition of a keyhole. It has ornate and seemingly random golden scrollwork inlaid throughout, and the corners are a bare metal polished to a near blinding clarity. The box itself is slightly warm to the touch. It looks as though there is no obvious way to open it, with no signs of a physical keyhole or latch anywhere on the container.
Can I try pushing in all 4 corners at once?
Do you have gloves on?
And my character art is like fingerless gloves, I think.
Okay, so you leave smudges on the 4 corners. but other than that, nothing happens.
It's great misdirection. I love it.
I will attempt to hit the metal part with one of the rust monster antennas. See if it'll rust.
Those are long since decayed.
Oh, okay. I
Don't
didn't know
worry,
that.
I thought like they were already rotting when you guys got down to the library.
Okay.
I did mention that, didn't I? Did I
No.
not?
If you
Would-
did, nobody
No.
wrote it down.
Udinar wouldn't have even known.
Because they haven't come up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were organic, and it's been a long time.
Yeah, that's fair. I just didn't know.
Yeah, no. Okay. So you go to pull out one of the antenna, and you grab it, and it's just like it just falls apart in your hand.
Gross.
Probably
Ugh.
get rid of the other 20.
Mm-hmm. Dump those on the floor.
They just kind of crumble to dust.
Find a new city, just start littering instantly.
Humans.
Right.
Okay, so what do we know? It's red and blue. It's got the four corners.
It's
Slightly
got
warm to
gold
the
scroll
touch.
work.
Which was seemingly random, but then your investigation check was that it was not that random.
Yeah, it's almost as if it was deliberately made to have no repeating pattern.
I mean, we know that none of the parts of the box move, so it's not like something where we can shift the pieces around.
Also, there was more to her investigation check than just scroll work.
Well, we could see our reflection in the corners, but probably not so well now since they have smudges on them. The paintwork on the box is of a keyhole.
Can I use my one-shot reward to re-roll my investigation check there?
Sure.
Nice.
Okay. So, oh yeah, that's something else I wanted to talk about at the beginning of session. I think I'm gonna start having inspiration expire at the end of session so that it loses some of that too good to use syndrome.
What?
But so you use it or lose it.
Ugh.
Anyway, so as Darby further investigates the box, you flip it over, you turn, you look at all the different sides. You notice that the scroll work is thickest on the side where the keyhole is. Like there's the most scroll work is there. In addition to that, yes, you have indeed smudged up the four corners, and the reflection isn't quite as clear as it was.
And the pattern of the scroll work or it doesn't form any kind of shape or image or anything like that. It's just very random kind of squiggles all over it.
Kind of, yeah. It's hard to really paint that picture fully. Yeah, it does not form any definitive shapes that you can see.
Is it one long continuous line?
No. Each side has its own little bits of scrollwork. Since you rolled a 19, I'll tell you, perhaps looking at it in the environment in which it was found might reveal something.
Hmm.
That's a loud mechanical keyboard.
It's not a mechanical keyboard.
Huh, it sounded like it.
Back in the, what I'm guessing, back bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything around, like in different spots of the room that matches
In this
the
room,
scrolling?
no, you don't really see anything that has the same scroll work. In this room, there are two small shelves. What looks to be like a clothing chest or like a wardrobe. There is a vanity with a mirror, the bed, and then just random knickknacks.
You said there was a mirror?
Yes, across from the bed.
Can I hold the box up to the mirror so that the corners reflect in the mirror?
You can. You take the box from Darby and hold it up, and as you're doing so, you notice that the gold scroll work, when reflected in the curved cornered mirrors of the box, begins to distort and take almost take shape. You think that maybe if you turned it just the right way, you might be able to get it to take on a full shape. I think our neighbors just died.
Probably.
Oh no.
It's okay, they're jerks anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
good then.
Okay, so start.
I'd like to go to the wardrobe first and get a piece of clothing out of there, and I'm assuming that's cleaner than whatever I have to wipe those polished surfaces.
Sure. In fact, within the wardrobe are some fine silken clothing.
Yeah, just completely like manhandle it to
Sure.
go and wipe down the box.
Okay. Darby polishes up the corners.
I'll take it back and slowly start trying to turn it in the mirror to see if anything looks like a shape or
You
something
notice
that can be
this-
read.
As you get almost just the perfect angle, you notice that the scroll work takes the image or takes the form of what looks like a key.
Ooh. Kind of holding it in place to try and hold that image. Can I try opening the box now?
I mean, it's probably going to take both your hands to keep it still enough to hold that image. But I mean, Darby is in the room with you.
Darby, are you standing next to me? Like watching all this, or?
Standing there
Right.
with some silk shirt in his hand.
I can hold it here if you want to try to open it.
Well, open it how?
I don't know. Just pull on the side. Start touching stuff. Except maybe not the corners.
Try to lift the top off, like it comes off in two halves.
It does not. But you would notice that, I mean, she's just like, did you even point out the key thing?
Well, he's standing here next to me looking at the mirror.
Yeah. But if he doesn't have the angle you have.
Okay, so yes, I will point out the key thing.
All right. So Darby can finagle it in such a way that you're able to also see the key, but you would see that the key is not touching the keyhole. You might even need a third mirror.
Okay. Darby opens up a pouch and pulls out a mirror that he's carrying on him.
All right.
How do you have a mirror?
Why
He's
wouldn't
got
you
lots of
carry
knickknacks.
a mirror?
So
I don't
Darby
look.
The mirror
expertly
specifically goes in this pouch.
I don't try to look in mirrors too much anymore.
Darby expertly
That's fair.
angles the reflective surface in such a way to get the key to touch the painted keyhole, and when he does so, you hear you hear, and Petalin, you feel a satisfying click, and then it sounds like a latch being turned.
Yay! I can't move. Okay.
If I move the third mirror away, does it unclick?
No,
Oh, okay. I think you're good to
Okay,
try
so-
opening it.
Yeah.
all right. The you find that now that it has been unlocked, the lid does indeed have a small latch that you can just pull free and open the top. Inside is a single black square coin, plain on the side that's visible to you, but on the opposite side has the golden face of a dwarf raised on its surface and what looks to be another note written inside.
Is the note in Elvish?
It is.
I will read it out loud.
Okay, so Petalin reads out loud. Udanar, I believe you're the only one who's going to understand it, but you'll hear her reading out loud from the other room. It says, "Sorry, Vitrus, I had to borrow the artifact. There was a nice trader fellow with an imp who offered me a fortune for it. I meant to tell you sooner, but, well, you know. Especially with that new law, since the council started rounding up and confiscating all the powerful relics recently. I'll pay you back someday, I promise. I can finally afford the gear to go and be a factor. I'm going to prove Father wrong. I'm going to do something meaningful, with success. Figure I might start by helping out that new village by the sea, Redshore, see if they have any leads. I heard the Darlings were even there recently. What I wouldn't give to lay eyes on Nerelia herself. Take care of Levantha for me. The coin is all I can afford to spare out of what's left from the sale, but should see you through a few months at least. I promise I'll see you again soon, and I'll bring back a mountain of treasure to pay you back for what I borrowed. It'll be way better than some dusty old runestone. You'll see. Varenthalus."
Ah, shit.
All
So
this
Egg and
garbage
Darby have
means
no idea
nothing
what you
to me.
just said. Yeah.
So I'll give them a quick breakdown in common of what all that was,
Okay.
with the significance being that there was a runestone here. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, those were what Ed was searching for to put into the sword.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like he got it from this guy. But this box does not have a key, obviously. But whatever this is, this coin, this could be something.
Okay. Neat.
I'm interested in this whole
I
thing
feel
about
like-
the council rounding up artifacts. Seems like there might be a
Yeah.
treasure trove of stuff somewhere.
Oh, good point.
I don't know how much good a coin will do us in an empty city.
Well, you never know.
Might need to bribe a guard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This still doesn't change the fact we can't open that box you wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't break it open. True. You did not find a key. That's also true.
I mean, I'll try and pick the lock that's probably way above my station.
You instantly die.
All right, so there are 7 cases that you can open.
Open all of them.
I don't think we have that kind of time.
In fact, as you say, I don't think we have that kind of time. Everybody in the group hears what sounds like a heavy stone like a heavy stone footfall, or like the sound of stone scraping against stone in the rhythm of footfalls outside the building.
Nope.
Oh God.
I'm going to hide behind the counter.
Yeah, I'm gonna take cover.
Which one do you
somewhere
want
as
the
well.
most?
I want the one with the medallions in it.
All right, I'm gonna try and fucking open that one before we get into some shit.
$11. Okay. You slide your lockpicks into the lock. Elaborate and decorative is what it seems to be, as inside it is a rather simple matter of sliding the pins aside and unhinging the lock itself.
Those fuckers.
Visual deterrence is often more than enough, especially in a policed city.
Yes.
The cabinet swings open freely, and
And so this
uh,
case had
8 medallions and amulets.
Okay.
I can read them back to you if you want. I think I have all of them.
No, I'm just gonna like swipe them all and then hop over and hide behind the counter.
Give me the one with the hand and the spiral on it.
The galaxy spinning on a finger.
Yes. But I assumed he wouldn't know what it was, so I said spiral.
Sure. Yeah.
And I handed that one. I'm holding the other 7 just clutched in the other hand.
Yeah. Udinar, I believe you would be particularly drawn to these, most likely. They do, in fact, have a small remnant, or like an aura of power.
Yeah, I'm focusing away from them just because it's not the time yet. But yeah, it's in my
Sure.
mind for sure.
Okay.
That's kind of why I
Okay,
didn't
so-
even help with the opening it, because I was like, I don't know about this, but whatever.
Sure.
We'll worry about this when we're safe.
Okay. All right. So Darby and Pedalin are taking cover. Egg and Udinar.
I'm also taking cover as much as I can, I suppose.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Okay. All right. So you guys want to make a stealth check for me?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What will it do? Can't remember if this rolls automatically for me. It does. Cool.
Okay. So everybody takes cover and hides as best they can.
Lynn should have an advantage.
Oh, right. I always forget that I have advantage.
Nice.
And waits as the stone footfalls grow closer and then eventually pass you by.
I mean, this is probably stupid, but it's what I would do. Can I peek out to see what it was?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Sure.
It looks something like this, only it's that same rose stone that I had described.
Oof. How big?
Large. about 10 feet tall. Maybe a little bit bigger than that.
What time of day is it now? How long have we been here?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. That must be
feeling
the
slighted
constructs.
by the first lock. I'm gonna try open some other ones.
Okay. There is an unsatisfying ka-chunk as you get your tool jammed inside the lock. And Udinar, as you swing to pull your head back inside and see what's going on, you catch out of your corner of the eye that the creature stops suddenly and turns and begins to march back in your direction with purpose.
We need to go.
Oh God.
My tool is stuck.
Screw your tool. Let's go.
Get it unstuck. Let's go.
What kind of roll would it be to try and get it loose?
Dexterity or sleight of hand? No, dexterity. Try as you might, the tool is firmly wedged inside the lock. Likely again because it wasn't it's all for appearances. The actual inner workings of the lock are rather cheap, and it looks like you have wedged it in there quite firmly as a result of having broken it.
Thoroughly upset. All right, I'm gonna dip out of there.
Okay. So you guys go through the blacksmith or through the jeweler?
Is there another back door?
Do you want to take some time to look for one?
I mean, I guess I would
when
ask
we were in the
Petalin.
back bedroom. Yeah, was there a window?
No, there wasn't a window, but there is a ladder up to an upper room.
I mean, if we go up there, we're just gonna have to get out all over the rooftops or something.
So my question would have been, is there a back door? And you just say there's a ladder up going up?
There is a ladder in that back room, yes.
No, I'm asking what they say. Because if they say no,
Well,
I'm running forward.
Well, so it would be a no, but there's a ladder.
But there's a ladder. How
Well,
close is this thing at this point, walking back?
Oh, are you peeking out to look again?
Maybe if I listen closely, I'll be able to tell.
All right, perception.
Okay. Because what I do next is going to be determined by how close I feel it is.
So, just listening, you can absolutely hear that the creature is quickly bearing down on you, and will likely be here at any moment.
Okay, so when you say there's a ladder or whatever, I just kind of start running towards the back.
Okay.
I follow.
All right, we're going this way.
All right, so everybody heads into they crowd into the tiny back room, and you see that there is indeed a ladder that leads up to a small upper area.
I start climbing.
Haha, of course. Robots can't climb ladders.
Exactly.
All right. So how much do you weigh, Udinar?
A lot. Let me open my sheet up. Is there not a place for notes here? 200 pounds.
Okay. And then all of your gear on top of that.
Yeah.
So the ladder creaks and groans under your weight, but doesn't give way. But you are able to squeeze yourself into what is a tiny little storage attic with a small port window.
Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to peer out the window.
You see that the window is north facing and is going the direct, like it looks out to the way that you didn't come from. There is,
I see.
there are two intersections ahead of you. Like as you're kind of peering around, you can see that there are two street intersections and several more homes or buildings out ahead.
Do I see any constructs that way?
No,
Okay.
it's coming from the south.
So before I do what I'm going to do next, I'll wait to see what the others do.
Okay.
Well, I'd ask him if there's a way out up there.
Okay, well, in that case, you'll hear me smash a window.
Okay. I'd like
Like,
to
I
take
ju- I
some
w-
ball bearings and just toss them all over the floor.
Okay.
You're
You
home
dump out a
alone,
bag of
this
ball
guy?
bearings.
Let's get some paint cans. Set them up.
All right, I'm shimmying up this ladder.
There is absolutely no room for you up there while Udanar is up there.
Yeah, I'm
So you are now
trying
at
to
the top
crawl
of
out
the
this
ladder.
window, basically.
Okay, so this is gonna be like a hell of a squeeze.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that you'll fit. Like
Oh.
I said it's like a tiny little port window.
Port window.
I did say
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a small square that maybe Pedalin can get her head through.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is small.
So I mean the others could potentially, I think the only one that really just couldn't fit is gonna be Udanar.
Okay. I'm gonna crawl back down and say go, and like just start motioning for them to get up the ladder.
So Udanar drops himself down and motions for you all to get.
All right.
Pedalin, as you climb up, you see the tiny port window, and know that there's no chance Udanar will make it through, but it's certainly like you can make it through, and it's possible that Egg and Darby can make it through with some squeezing.
We can't leave you behind.
Can't
We'll
you
meet
make
up.
yourself smaller?
As he ponders his spell list.
I cannot. I can make the illusion that I'm smaller, but I can't make myself smaller.
Ooh, wait. Oh, where is it?
Apparently she has a plan, so I'll wait for this before I do what I think I'm gonna do.
Okay, I'm going to cast Silent. Oh shit, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the golem.
Oh, let me in. Let me in the hole. Let's go.
Oh, duh. Okay. I throw the hole onto the floor and
I jump
to
in.
motion him to get in.
Okay.
Or the wall. Throw it on the wall so he can just step in.
I'll step in there.
Okay.
Wherever it is, I'm
All
in.
right. All right. I grab the hole and I I shimmy out the little port window.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll
And
go after her.
next. Yeah.
All right. Wait, who goes next?
Egg.
Yeah,
Okay.
me.
So as Egg is like his feet are disappearing over the ladder into the little cubby attic, you hear a loud crash, and Darby, as you look behind you, you can see that the sentry has made its way into the building, and is now like peering through the small doorway towards the back room. Udanar, you're technically in a bag. Egg, you're in the attic. And let's go ahead and share this sheet. And then,
Why am I always in a bag when this happens?
you should be able to see it now. But yeah, so it spots you peering through the corner, and Egg is going to be wiggling his way out of the window over the next turn, because it's not an easy fit for him. So tell me what your ball bearings do.
This is the first time I've gotten to use them. Cover a square area that is 10 feet on a side. Creature moving across must succeed a DC 10 Dex save or fall prone.
Okay.
Creature moving through this area at half speed doesn't need to make the save.
Right. Okay. So you want to draw me a little 10-foot square?
Where would the actual door be?
Like, ish. Okay.
And are we in our initiative order right now?
No, I didn't know if you were doing anything else, but once you tell me what your plan is, I'm gonna have everybody initiative up.
Okay. I'm going to take out a flask of oil
Mm-hmm.
and douse myself to try and make
Okay.
the squeeze easier.
Okay. Now covered in thick black lantern oil. And I'll go ahead and roll everybody's initiatives. Roll all initiatives. Modified. All right, so you oil up. That's your turn. Udinar, you are inside of the portable hole holding your breath, or not. Actually, you don't have to hold your breath. You have 10 minutes of oxygen. Sharing the space with whatever the fuck is still in there.
Yep.
Darby
everything
has
seems
now
fine.
seen the portable hole in action. Do you do anything inside the hole?
I do not.
Okay. Egg, you spend your turn squeezing the rest of the way out.
Mhm.
Make an acrobatics check, please.
Acrobatics.
All right. You successfully land without face planting onto the pavement.
Nice.
Pedal in.
Okay, I'll use my turn to let Udinar out of the bag now that we're
Okay.
out of the building.
Open the hole up. Udinar can now escape. Anything else? You can still move.
Well, I don't want to just take off without Darby.
'Cause it's like that size, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, I can move to the far side of the hole. Be prepared to run.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. What is it? Deck save?
Mm-hmm.
Prone it is. Oh, does it show my roll?
It
Yeah,
did.
it did.
Why is it showing my rolls again? Silly game. Show GM rolls off. There we go. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna slip and fall. So it is now prone.
Shame
Is
we
it
didn't have any
entering
paint
or
cans.
moving through? Actually, you know what? I had it pulled up. Let's see. Ball bearings. Moving across. Creature moving through the air. Okay, so yeah, I'll put it there since that's where its entire body would have been in. So it falls on the ball bearings. And that was 1, 4. So it doesn't have half movement to stand up unless it burns its action to stand. So it will. And then it has 15 feet of movement left. I'm going to get right here, and I'll go ahead and have it roll again to exit. Nope, down it goes. Darby, there is now a stone, or the stone sentry of Spira lying on the ground right next to you as you finish dousing yourself in lantern oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up the ladder and get the fuck through that porthole.
Okay, make an acrobatics check. All right, Darby squeezes out quite neatly thanks to the lantern oil, and is able to land safely on the street. Well, actually, he probably would have landed on egg. Lands on egg, makes his way over to the side. All is well. It seems as though almost everybody's made it out. Darby, you still have an action.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do anything other than say we need to go.
Okay. Udinar, the hole is open. A very oily Darby has now said that we need to go.
Yep, I definitely agree. So
Pull yourself out of the pit. We'll consider that to be half your movement.
half, okay.
Yeah, because it's like getting up from prone.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll move I don't want to move too far because I want to make sure everybody starts moving. So I'll probably get to about there.
Okay. And that's going to end your turn.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
All right. And is everybody running? Is that the gist of it?
I think we're fleeing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we will call that combat then. It can't catch you.
Yes.
All right.
I only have 5,000 ball bearings left.
Damn.
Oh, no.
So few.
Hurrying beyond the two shops, you continue to explore deeper into the depths of the sleeping city, while trying your best to evade any of the patrols of the stone sentries. Though the only one that you had seen so far is the one that you left behind at the blacksmith and jeweler shop. However, several times on your journey deeper, you catch a glimpse of movement in the corner of your eye, but each time as you turn your gaze in its direction, nothing is there but shadow. Finally, you reach the first of the city's inner walls, another hour or so later, and a gate that has likely been closed for hundreds of years towers above you. There's no clear way to open it from this side, but if you wish to explore deeper, you must find a way through.
So it's about mid-morning now?
Yeah. Like if we consider you guys left at like 8, it's probably 10:30.
Okay. What's the gate made out of? Just like steel, iron?
No, the gate itself is wood and banded iron or banded metal.
Gotcha.
And how high is the wall?
Probably 60 feet or so.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
So there's no obvious way to open the gate. There's no chain or anything.
I mean, there's like the gatehouse, but even that, like it does it. So it like the main gate would have to be open from the inside. The gatehouse itself, it is a locked, just like little side area.
Right.
But the only person here with experience in cities is Darby, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so Darby, give me a history check. That's intelligence, isn't it? All right. So you know that if you're able to get into the gatehouse, you can likely open the gate itself.
Okay.
But,
Is there a way to see into the gatehouse?
No, it's closed.
Like there's no
to
like
to
barred
kind of
window to it?
to paint the picture, like big stone wall, big wooden and iron or big wooden and metal gate, and then off to the side is like a small door built into the gate that goes into like the gatehouse.
Okay.
The gatehouse is on the other side of it. There is a metal little like port window that you could slide open, but it is closed. Like a little slatted window.
Okay, before I do anything, did we have a written version of the note from Mr. Elf
Yep.
from before?
Yep. It's in the chat.
I don't know which Mr. Elf you're talking about.
I think he's talking about Norath.
Oh,
Yeah.
The note from this morning.
no.
I can pop that in there. Hold on.
Because he did mention beware the shadows, and if we've been walking around and feeling kind of iffy about the shadows,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know what the night road is. Okay, so back to the slatted window.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I have a like visual to see into the room behind the window?
No, it's like there's a metal bar that they like in movies where you knock on the thing and someone slides open the little tiny window and you can just see their eyes.
Okay.
It's one of those.
Okay. I thought it was a different object on the structure.
No.
But overall, we can it's pretty clear that the gate is locked.
Yes.
Okay.
The structure of the gate, is it like single large door or like actual two doors?
Two
Or-
that would slide.
Okay. Can I take my scimitar, poke it between the crease in between the two, and try and feel if there's like a barricade on the other side of it?
Yeah. So you put your scimitar through, or you attempt to put your scimitar through the seam, and the gate is incredibly well made. There's not much of a gap. But after working it for some time, you do manage to slide it in there. It's very tight. But as you raise it up, you definitely feel that there is some sort of barrier in the way, keeping you from raising it further.
Okay.
So the slots on the wall that like you would be able to talk to somebody in the thing, is that wood or stone? Like that
Metal.
fits in. It's metal. Okay. Built into
But the
stone.
door itself is wood?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go to where those slots are and just kind of kneel down beside them. And I'm gonna cast Stone Shape underneath them. And I'm gonna just start like basically rubbing my hand on the wall, and it just like starts moving away, like the stone, as I'm like digging into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go as deep as 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I reach the other end?
I'm trying to figure out what you're stone shaping here.
Stone shaping around the slats to basically like break them out to make a hole.
Well, it's metal that the slat is housed in. So it's a wooden door with a little metal rectangle.
Oh, I see.
cut.
Okay, it'll be right beside the door then, like where.
Okay, so
it
like
would
like
lead
the
into.
wall itself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then yeah, you using stone shape would absolutely work from that. Because the door itself isn't 5 feet thick.
Right.
So. mm, yeah, that would work. Yeah, you can tunnel at an angle here. So you can make a small passage, like at an angle that would intersect with the door and the wall, and make your way into the gatehouse that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
It's probably not big enough for
it
me
take-
to fit in though, because I can only do 5 feet in diameter as well. So I'll probably ask.
No, I mean
Penelin.
you can totally fit in. I mean, you stand in a 5x5 square, so
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
you are still medium. You're just a large medium.
Right.
So
A
it
thick
takes
medium.
some time for your magic to navigate the craftsmanship of the wall itself, but you finally see the satisfying, like the satisfying sight of it opening to the other side and not being more stone before you. You now have access to the gatehouse, wherein you could likely navigate the passageway, or Darby would let you know that you can navigate through the passageway of the gatehouse and come out the other side, or you could use the gatehouse to open the gate itself.
Perhaps we should not open the gate to make sure that no one's aware that we're in.
Well, do we want to make sure at least the doors to this gatehouse are unlocked if we need to make a hasty retreat?
It's probably a good idea.
So who's going in?
Darby will go in.
All right. Darby, you slip inside the stone tunnel and find yourself in pitch black darkness on the other side, except for the small amount of light that's coming through the hole in the wall itself. Inside, you see that the gatehouse door is simply latched by a few different intricate metal latches, or actually simple metal latches. So it's a small manner of sliding them to the side. Inside the gatehouse itself, you also see a large wheel, not entirely unlike the helm of a ship, as well as a ladder leading upward, deeper into the wall.
Well, I will unlatch that door
Okay.
and confirm that it opens up even with part of the wall missing.
It does.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll let the others in and head up the ladder into the wall.
All right, so you want to go up the ladder?
Shouldn't we go through the door into the city?
Yeah, the door on the other side.
I just want to take a peek what's at the top
Okay.
of the ladder. I'm guessing it leads to like ramparts, but
How high up do you want to go? Because you go up the ladder one section and there's like a little like a torch brazier, where you could potentially like take a nap. In fact, there's a little cot, but then the ladder goes up again, and this is a much larger ladder.
I'm gonna make the assumption it goes to the top of the wall. I'll just make note of it and head back.
Okay. Darby descends the ladder and is now back in the gatehouse, which is just large enough for maybe 2 people to comfortably share. Also, I don't know what you mean about people not knowing you're here, because the fucking hole in the wall is gonna be there. That's not temporary.
No, but a giant clack, 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 clack across the city
Yeah, fair.
is
Yeah,
much more
that's
noisy.
true.
Basically, I just don't want constructs around. The undead, I'm sure,
Sure.
just can
Agreed.
smell us at this point, so they
Okay.
want essence. of human.
Well, then you and I are safe then.
Yeah.
So what now?
All right, onward.
Yeah, we'll head to the opposite side and unlatch that door.
Okay. So easily.
And then we'll head into what I'm guessing is the more wealthy part of the city.
Or at least the middle class, if nothing else, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One moment. Go through the gate. All right, so you open the door to the inner part of the city, and it's almost as though the light of the sun is being drawn inward from the hole in the wall to what your eyes are now slowly revealing to be complete and utter darkness. You can't quite make out the details from here, but it seems as though some sort of giant canopy covers the main roadway of this part of the city, blocking out all light except that which is trickling in from the now opened door.
Ooh.
The night road.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's concerning. For sure.
So, thoughts? Maybe
Okay, so
we go back and ask him more questions about the night road before we, go forward and blindly walk into something terrible.
I will say the note doesn't say do not tread upon the night road. It says do not carelessly tread upon the night road. So as
Fair
long as we're
enough.
careful, we should be okay, right?
Well,
Eh, I mean, it stands to reason.
I mean, do we really want to take the risk? I guess for a bit of clarification, like, is this canopy like just covering like this one segment of it? Like,
I don't know what you mean by one segment.
Is
Like-
it covering this entire section of the city?
I mean, you're below it, so you wouldn't know unless maybe you went up and looked.
hmm. Well, let's head back in, see if we can get to the top of the wall, and then scout out from there.
sure.
Okay.
Okay. So who's going up?
Darby will lead the charge.
Okay. Anybody else going with Darby?
How sturdy does this ladder seem?
I mean, it's fine. It's not like the little dinky one that was in their house in
Yeah.
the jeweler's house.
Okay, that's basically what I wanted to know. Yeah, I'll follow.
Mm. Okay, so Darby and Udinar make their way up. So 60 feet of ladder is
Well,
no small
before-
task. Go ahead.
Before going up, well, did Darby ever see Egg use the spyglass?
No.
Egg would not have used it on the boat.
All right, I think he used it once before though to look at something in the distance.
I think I did. Did I look at the orcs ship?
I mean, you can just assume yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I did.
Darby would ask for the spyglass.
Egg will give it to him so that he doesn't have to climb the ladder.
And Petalin will stay with Egg to make sure that we all survive.
So
What is our code word for things going poorly?
Bananas. Because
Strange,
this
but-
shit is bananas.
All right.
And how would you
well,
spell that?
Everyone remember that.
Bananas.
oh, good to know. All right. All right. So, 60 feet of ladder is no small, easy task. And once you reach the top, you take a moment to catch your breath before you dare to peer beyond. And the sight before you is strangely beautiful and starkly contrasting to the landscape behind you. Instead of sprawling buildings and open streets, you see that the inhabitants of the city within constructed a massive black canopy, which crisscrosses over what you can only assume to be all of the major streets and intersections below, with only very small gaps in between. Even now, you can see the light of the sun being pulled into the strange material. Surely the sight beneath the canopy must be pitch black darkness, though why anybody would do this intentionally escapes you.
Hmm.
Two more great walls rise beyond towards the heart of the city.
Oof. I'm gonna just kind of like look at Darby and say, I wonder if there's a way we could remove the canopy. Or at least like burn it or something away. It'll be hard
well, that
down
may
there
risk-
not being able to see anything.
Well, it might risk burning this part of the city down.
Hmm.
Uh,
True.
is there a way to actually like reach where the canopy is mounted, which I'm guessing like to the top of the wall?
No, it's actually below you. So like the tops of some buildings are definitely taller than the canopy itself.
Okay.
Oh.
It's maybe 30 or 40 feet in the air.
Does it come close to the wall at any point?
Yes, in fact, it marries itself to the wall, almost all along it.
Okay.
Like it's anchored to or built into the wall itself.
Oh. Interesting.
Well, I've got this rope.
Okay.
I kind of want to investigate the canopy.
I can hold you while you do that if you want.
Yeah, sure. I will tie part of the rope around myself.
I'll tie the other end around me and just kind of grasp it with two hands.
Okay. And Egg and Petalin, what are you guys doing down there in the dark?
I'm standing over near the stone tunnel, looking out, keeping watch.
Okay.
And I'll stay by the ladder to listen for the signal if something goes wrong.
Okay.
When something goes wrong.
Yep.
So my rope is a 50-foot silk rope.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and rappel down the wall to the top of the canopy.
Give me athletics. Right. You skillfully, with great practice, make your way down the side of the wall to the edge of the canopy itself. You are mere inches from the strange fabric.
I guess I'd like to take a look at it, having seen like sails and fabrics and whatnot around. Like it looks completely foreign, doesn't it?
Being this close, you see that it is just devouring the light around it, and so you can't make out any details of the surface whatsoever.
Hmm. Um. I'm gonna pull the dagger from my boot
Okay.
and see if touching it at all, like even Like if it's even physical or
Mhm.
just
Okay.
poke and prod at it, see if it can be cut.
Okay, so you want to try to cut it?
I suppose so, sure.
Okay. So you press the blade of the dagger against the canopy itself, and it's unsettling how much it's like you're pushing it against an empty void of space visually. Um, you do feel some slight resistance to it, which is the only indication that you have that you're actually touching it. And as you drag the sharp blade across its surface, you can feel that it stretches and like conforms to the pressure.
Hmm. Okay. That is the um I I guess would my visual thing have any impact on the darkness it's exuding?
No,
Okay.
because it's not exuding darkness so much as it's consuming light.
Okay. All right. I will give a tug on the rope
Okay.
All right, I'll pull.
and then
Yeah.
make my way
Udinar
back up.
hauls you back over.
So it's a strange material. I wasn't able to cut through it. I don't know if we're gonna have any easy way avoiding it other than avoiding the main road.
It is a material, though, you say.
Seems to have some magic surrounding it. Light doesn't seem to be able to pass through it or even get near it, it seems like.
Interesting. Okay,
I'd
we
rather
should tell
have
the
more
others.
information before we delve into this part of the city.
Agreed. Can I take just like a basic mental note of the buildings that are tall enough to go out of it? Just I kind of basically am like trying to map in my mind if we have to go through here where we can find some respite to like go above the canopy if we need to like get out of the darkness or something. Like, are there towers or
Well, hold on. I'm trying to think of what skill you could maybe use to commit that, and I feel like survival would be the one here.
okay. Why the hell is this not rolling? Okay. There we go.
You do your best to commit the buildings that rise above the canopy to memory.
Okay.
So whether or not you will be able to recall them in the moment will
Sure.
be determined by the moment. So I am assuming at this point Darby and Udinar returned down below to find Egg by the ladder and Petalin near the last remaining vestiges of the light that can be seen.
Oh, you didn't die. Neat.
Oh,
No,
good.
not yet. So, I'll explain to them what we saw. The canopy seems to be of some material of magic origin, or at least magic with material, according to Darby's reconnaissance as he scaled down there to take a look at it. So the good news is there seems to be buildings here and there that go above the canopy, which seems to be like a way that we can maybe carve a path through this area if need be. Bad news is that it seems like we're not going to be able to take the easy way of just destroying the canopy completely so sunlight can come in. So it looks like if we go through here, it will be in complete darkness, basically.
Now, Udinar and Darby, you can't see in the dark.
This is where the problem lies. Yes.
But Egg, you can't because you have the ring, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no issues in the dark.
What?
Oh, good. Just me then.
But you're human, though. Egg, your brother is human, right? He's not like a half thing.
I think he's human.
A half thing.
Last time I checked. Was a while ago.
I can say that
You
I'm
know
a
how
half
these things
thing.
can change.
That's our word.
That's our word.
Yeah.
So this would be a good time for a nature check from everybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, everybody will recall the strange black trees that dotted the island that seemed to have the same effect, though not nearly as exaggerated as that in the canopy.
Hmm.
Hmm. And those trees, was it like the meat of the tree or like the leaves on it? That
The
did that?
entire tree is black, but it is the foliage that seems to have that light trapping quality.
Hmm. Well, I think we should make our way back to our temporary camp and see if our friend has some more information and maybe he's a little more willing to talk to us.
Yeah. Or at least some idea of how to proceed.
Sure.
Can we roll nature again to see how many hours we have left in the day before sundown?
The sun hasn't even hit its zenith yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even noon.
Is there a way we can create a map of how we got here from camp, just so we're not like getting lost, making our way back
Who
to
has
this checkpoint?
Who has cartographer's tools?
I do.
Are you proficient in them?
Yes.
Then
Oh.
you can.
How do I do that? Mechanically.
So it is a wisdom check with those tools, which if you're proficient in them, you add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So wisdom check, and then just add proficiency. Just 3. Oh, it's a 4. Golly. I have angered the dice gods.
So Petalyn does her best rendition of the map that she
got,
can.
like,
Well,
stick
do you want
figures
a
of
too
us
good
on
to
it.
use syndrome now?
You know what? I was going to save it for our next combat, but sure, why not? I'll use my my inspiration to get a reroll, I guess.
Okay.
Just not happening.
Nope.
Wow.
So that's what, a 7?
Yep.
Okay. Petalyn again draws her best rendition of the map to get from the guard tower to here.
Okay. Well, that's done. So now I feel confident we will get back here without any problem whatsoever. Good job.
Thank you. Look, I drew little stick figures of us
They're beautiful.
Where?
on the edge, right here, by the watchtower. You can't tell?
Oh, like a you
Oh,
are
I thought
here
you-
sort of thing.
I thought you had actually drawn something somewhere.
Oh. Okay. I think it's a little too early to necessarily go back.
Well, we can try and scout out this ring of the city a bit more. See if there are any points of interest. Maybe try and search for some supplies.
Sure, it's not a bad idea.
I mean, at the very least, we could do so until midday, because then we know we have to start making our way back.
Making our way back won't be as treacherous. Well, in theory.
Well, we don't know that.
So, what's the plan?
All right.
Darby's going to look for another tavern.
Yeah, I'm
I
reluctant
guess-
to go down the night road because I can't see well at all in the dark. So if everybody else wants to go, I guess I'll trail behind somebody, but I do not want to go currently.
I mean, there's no reason that we couldn't just light a torch, right?
We haven't really tried, so we could scout the first
could
couple
test it.
feet. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
a bad idea. Let's take a look around.
Okay.
Do you stop Darby from going off to find a tavern?
I will stop him.
Okay. All right. So,
We'll say not yet.
Okay. I'll light a torch and step into the darkness.
shouldn't Udinar do that since he's the
Yeah,
blind one?
I'll take the torch. I'll hold it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. As you take your first few cautious steps into the inner city, you get a true sense of the magnificent structure that is the canopy. All light is devoured before it ever touches the lower level, even among those buildings which rise above it. There are several sconces and strange glass housings on the roadside or built under the buildings themselves, which may have at one point in time housed light, but now all is dark inside. There seems to be an almost mournful breeze tugging gently at the hems of your clothing, pulling you ever deeper into the city proper. The light of your torch flickers and is dim, but does illuminate about half the distance that it normally would.
Can I try lighting one of the sconces on the side of the road?
You want to go investigate it and see what it is?
Yeah. Sure. Let me just...
I'm going to keep an eye on Udinar.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure if anything comes out of the darkness at him that we're on guard.
Taking a look at the sconce itself, you see that it doesn't look to be like a traditional pitch or fire burning sconce. There are strange stones inside of it.
Do I know what type of stones they are from looking?
With a 6? No.
Okay. Can I try to pick one up?
Yeah.
Okay, I do so.
You're holding a rough feeling stone.
I'll bring it back to wherever Petalin is and just hold it out and say, "You ever see one of these?"
Nature. No.
Nope. It's a rock.
I mean, yeah, you can say yes. I've seen many rocks.
Okay. I'll put in my pack just for now, just in case.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't seem like an easy way to light up further ahead, so we could continue traveling currently like we are now, or we could take their advice and maybe look around the other area. What do you think?
I think the danger in going further into the darkness is we won't be able to watch the sun, so we won't know when we have to leave.
I actually hadn't considered that. You're right. And I'm more likely to be okay with that when we know what we're what we're dealing with in here. So I'd rather at least one more night with the elf to chat.
Yeah, one more night won't hurt us.
Yeah.
That,
Okay.
So if you wait until tomorrow, that will be your third day on the island. just to keep track.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Udinar and Pedalin reappear through the stone tunnel, where Egg and Darby are just chilling out.
You didn't die. Well,
Is that your typical greeting?
well, you know.
We've had
Um,
issues as a group.
Yeah. Not to be morbid, but. So we know that torches will work. That solves that problem. But still, the plan is to return to the watchtower for the night and ask some more questions.
Well, torches may work, but do you want to be a moving beacon? Or whatever.
Yeah,
in
that's
there?
also what I'm a little worried about. I'm not against the idea, frankly, if as long as we know what we're doing in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against the idea of a fight. I just don't want to walk around aimlessly.
Egg, do you have a compass?
I do.
Would we know what direction the city center would be in?
I mean, you can look at the compass and see which direction it's pointing. But yeah, I mean, if the crab turns, it might change.
Oh, God. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, we're not exactly on solid Earth.
Fucking living city. God damn it.
We're in Crabtown.
Crab Town.
All right, well, that's fairly useless, isn't it?
I wouldn't want to rely on it.
So, as it stands right now, I'm down with the Darby's idea of doing a little more searching in the area we know already, but also taking it carefully back to camp. So, like, doing it carefully, we're going to be taking longer as it is, and we can, like, stop along the way and find some interesting stuff, maybe.
Okay.
So, how long do you guys want to spend exploring the outer city?
I'm actually okay with following him to a tavern of some sort.
Right, but how long do you guys want to spend exploring the outer city? Like, do you just want to find a tavern and then head back? What do you want to do?
We can probably
Well-
spend 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it took us about 2 to 3 hours to get here to the wall. So we can look around for about 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll have about 2 to 3 hours to get back to the watchtower before sundown. Approximately.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'm good with that.
Yep.
Rumble, did you have something to say?
Well, I was gonna see because if we're using the sun as an indicator, we would well know when midday is.
Okay. So, a
Yeah.
few hours more, like,
Yeah, because if we're still like in earlyish morning,
Well, it's
It's-
about
it's
10:30,
like
11
late.
now.
yeah, I was gonna say it's
Hmm.
late morning now.
yeah, I think that'll be fine. I don't know how comfortable we are pushing it or how far down the sun needs to be before shit goes down, but
Well, if we just start looking for a tavern along the route where we came, heading back towards the edge of the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just take a little longer rather than going on a direct route.
I think if we're at least within running distance of the edge of the city. By the time the lanterns start lighting up, we're probably fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no complaints.
Okay. So you guys spend a few more hours digging around through the outer city. It seems like goal number 1 is finding a tavern. Do you just want to like go spelunking through the city? Or do you want to like hug the wall? How do you want to do that?
We should hug the wall in case there's another gate.
Okay.
Sure.
So we're
Well, I
kind of
don't know
doing
what
like a
kind
perimeter
of-
thing now, then? Like hugging the wall until we get back to the main entrance is the idea?
Or did you want to like hug this inner wall?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess the outer wall? Because that way we have a way out of the city once the lamps start to light?
So you would follow the inner wall to the outer wall and then go along the outer wall to the edge.
I don't know. I'm getting confused by which wall we're talking about.
So imagine a circle inside of a circle.
Well, see, that's what I thought. I didn't think that you could follow the inner wall to the outer wall. Because if they're concentric circles,
Mm-hmm.
they'll
Well,
never
it's
touch.
not perfect, but yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask what kind of role it would be. Having city living knowledge. Like, they're obviously kind of like the main streets and then
Mhm.
side roads branching off of it. And
Yeah.
typically taverns would be in higher traffic areas.
Yeah. So
So
there's
that would be-
honestly being at the gate, there's probably one very close by.
We should just check that one out. Go randomly look, I guess, look for buildings that are bigger than a house.
I mean, I'll just tell you now, you can run into a tavern on this main road. That's fine. I want to know what
Yeah.
it is you want out of it.
Assuming that it's a more mixed race area of the city, there would be a different selection as opposed to just wine.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a few kegs, some bottles of various stuff, and just what are you looking for? They got kegs
Rum,
of ale,
whiskey,
bottles of wine, being
heavy liquors is essentially the goal.
probably not in the outskirts because that shit's not cheap. You want some grog? You can get some grog. You want some ale? You can get some ale. You want some wine? You can get some wine. That's easy. You want things that take work? You'll probably need to head in to another, one level deeper into the city. Unless maybe you want to try searching for something like a distillery or something.
You know, maybe like a bottle of something strong hidden away that someone made in their bathtub.
Oh, God.
So
Like
it
nothing
sounds like-
glamorous, but
right. So you are on a booze cruise. Like you're hunting for strong liquor. Is that right? Yeah. Give me investigation, and you can have advantage on the roll. All right. So, after several hours of searching and multiple unsuccessful tavern visits, Darby finally gets the idea to check like one of the houses right near the gate, since that would be maybe prime real estate. In fact, there's even a small river running through this section of town, likely siphoned from the sea itself or steered in from the sea itself. And as you're searching through the house, you get the immediate feeling that this likely belonged to somebody who probably traveled between the two fairly regularly, just based on the fact that it's a much higher quality home. And sure enough, in a locked cabinet, you can make out what looks to be some finer bottles that you get the hunch likely contain some form of richer alcoholic potency.
There you go. There's your alcohol.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Is
Oh,
everybody
fuck, but
inside the
I-
house?
I'm gonna probably stand guard.
Yeah, I would be looking out a window or the doorway from the house down the streets.
Okay.
Somebody's always got to be standing guard in this city.
All right, so Udinar and Pedalin are outside.
Mm-hmm.
Egg?
I'll help with
Okay.
Darby, whatever he's doing.
Okay.
Well, here's the question, because one of my tools got stuck in the previous lock.
Mm-hmm.
Would that completely invalidate my thieves' tools?
Let's see. Small file, set of lockpicks. So it's a set. So let's say roll a percentile die, and you have a 75% chance of having the pick you need. That is below. That's not good. So no, unfortunately, the pick you would need to get into this cleanly is the same one that's wedged into the lock in the jeweler shop.
Of course. What kind of cabinet is this?
You could break it. It's wood and glass with a little bit of decorative metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna summon the gun and then just like hit the glass with the
Okay.
not shoot it
Udinar.
and make a bunch
Yeah,
of noise,
yeah,
but
yeah. Udinar and Pedalin, you hear the crack of glass from within. All right, you now have an open cabinet with 2 bottles of some sort of liquor.
Well, I guess since they didn't yell bananas, then they broke that glass intentionally.
yeah, I'm
Intentionally,
gonna take
yes.
the 2 bottles and walk out with a satisfied look on my face.
Oh, hold on. Udinar and Pedalin, make a perception check, please.
Oh, here we go.
Udinar, keeping an active watch, you're the one to spot that on the other side of the river, there is definitely an active sentry patrolling. It doesn't seem to have noticed that you are there, but it's absolutely pathing not too far from you.
All right. So at this point, they're still in the house.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Like this is maybe 10 seconds after you heard the crashing of glass.
Okay, I'm gonna walk back in and just say that we gotta go.
Okay, so Pedalin is still outside,
What?
but
Where are you going?
Oh,
Udinar pops inside and says, "We gotta go."
okay. Well, I'll like tug at her like robe or whatever to like come with me as I say.
I had kind of pictured you guys as like on opposite ends of the house,
Oh, I see.
keeping watch in different directions.
Okay, let's retroact. If that's the case, retroactively, I'm gonna like make a, I don't know, like a whistle sound or something to try to get her attention, and then just kind of like point in the direction I saw it.
Okay.
Do I see it?
Make a perception check.
There you go.
Yes. In fact,
Oh,
as
crap.
Udinar's whistle calls your attention over in that direction, you spot it before he even points.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'll hurriedly go over to where he is.
Okay, so you
I'm gonna whisper under my
head over.
breath, "Get the others," because I know she's quieter than me moving.
Okay.
All right, there is a wagon right next to you that you could potentially take cover behind.
Yeah, I'll do that as I
Like
say it as well.
All right, so go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay. Me too, as I go to get them.
If you're doing it stealthily. Okay. So Pedalin creeps into the house, and as you creep in, you nearly bump into both Darby and Egg as he's showing off or bragging about the 2 bottles he's got in either hand.
Shh, you two. We gotta go. Patrols.
I've got what I need.
Well, let's be quiet about it.
Egg gives a thumbs up.
Udinar, make a perception check.
Okay. Man, it really doesn't like if you don't roll decently.
I don't know what that means, but
Like the dice itself, it keeps dropping unless it like spins multiple times for me.
oh, can you not just click it and it auto rolls for you?
Maybe a double click?
Yeah, like maybe a double
Hold on.
click.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there it is. Okay, so ignore that one.
Okay, so no. Okay. All right. So a 9, which means passive kicks in, and passive is 18. Shit. No, you're very perceptive. So you get just like a little bit of an inkling, like an itching sensation in the back of your neck, and you turn and look and spot that there's absolutely another sentry on the north side now. So you are sandwiched between the two. They are both walking this way, though neither one of them seems to be directly angled at the building that you're in.
Oh shit, do I have... Oh, I don't think that's even a cleric spell actually. Never mind. I feel like I have to think fast. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame as far as I can away from me down a road to try to draw their attention.
What is the range of Sacred Flame?
It is 60 feet.
Let's see. That won't work. Excuse me.
Like
There we
maybe
go.
if there's a card or
you-
something I could set on fire with it.
There's a building that you could hit, or much closer to you, there's a small wooden boat in the river itself that you could maybe light.
Perfect. I do it.
Again, that is much closer to you.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I'll do the building.
The boat's about 25 feet away. The building you can drop a flame onto it.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, you cast your Sacred Flame. It crashes into the building. Does that actually catch things on fire?
I think it might actually just be radiant damage. Flame like radiance. Yeah, it's not actual fire.
Okay, so it just punches a hole into the rooftop.
Yeah.
So when that happens, you notice that the sentry on that side of the river, like it snaps its head in that direction and quickens its pace and starts making its way that way. And as you turn to look at the one above you, it also seems to have noticed it, but is now walking almost in a line parallel where it's going to run straight into your, like right next to you, maybe. Let's see, that'd be. Can I move this? Yeah, it's probably going to pass within 20 feet of you and on the side of the cart that you're not hidden behind.
Okay.
So now that you've done that, I need to know what everybody else is doing.
Okay.
Would we have heard the spell?
I mean, it was probably loud and it broke some roof tile, so yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hurry to the front door and look out and see what happened.
Okay, so make a perception check. Actually, hold on. I don't think you even need to. I think yours is high enough. Yeah. So you see that one of the sentries is like hurrying past on the far side of the river, but that there is a second one that you hadn't seen previously that is now like almost walking in a straight line toward you.
Okay, well,
Like it's gonna walk right past your house.
all right. Well, I'm gonna motion for the other two boys to stay in the house and stay hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And can I see Udinar from this angle down to the cart where he's hiding, or no?
I mean, you're on the first floor, so actually here, I'll just go ahead and show you what I'm looking at.
Oh, cool. Oh, this makes way more sense now of what you meant. Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, I guess I would leave the door open so that Udinar could make his way into the house and we could try to take cover.
Okay. I have an idea of what I'm going to do. So you leave the door open for me?
Yes.
Okay. Has this sentry seen me then?
It does not indicate that it has,
Okay.
but it's moving in a direction where it's going to pass right by you.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Hidden Step on myself to go invisible.
Okay.
And I'm going to slowly walk towards the doorway.
Okay. Make a stealth check. Okay.
Good old armor.
Creep as best you can with the subtle clank and clink of your armor, trying to sneak back into the home. Once you have made it inside, what do you do?
I kind of whisper, like, get down to everybody.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm just ready for a fight in case I was seen.
Sure. Is the plan to hide?
Yeah. I
think so.
indicate that. So
Mm-hmm.
Ready. Stealth it up.
you want me to do one more?
Oh God.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you watch as the sentry marches past, turns its head once, looking where you were, and then moves past, making its way down across the bridge to where they're now both like kind of near the building, but you lose sight of one as it disappears around the corner.
This shit is bananas.
How do you spell that?
Bananas.
Oh, okay. I think the plan is to just quietly leave this area, unless the others have something.
Is there a door to the north that we can take? Like through
Maybe
the
the
far side of the
east.
house?
Maybe the east. Oh no, yeah, I'll give you the north. North would be fine.
Okay.
You can head into that little alley.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
alley
not a
mates.
door, but a window that you can squeeze through.
Going through windows all the time.
Hell yeah.
At least you didn't have
Right.
to break this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, are we gonna try to sneak off then?
Keep in mind, Darby is still oily and probably sticky and gross.
And he was just
as everything would cling to him.
You.
and he was on the floor on his belly, like still holding the two bottles. That
It's covered in carpet lint.
Gross.
Like centuries of dust.
Oh, gross.
Man, it's probably a
Like,
good
get
thing he
advantage
didn't
on
hold the
stealth
torch then.
checks indoors.
You were both talking, so I missed most. I heard stealth checks indoors, and I lost the end of whatever Paul said.
Oh, I said that it's probably a good thing he didn't hold the torch then. That one point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to become a superhero.
Yeah.
Flame on. All right, so we're sneaking away? Yes?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm down.
I guess so.
All right. Before you sneak away, I know it's not represented clearly on the map, but the 4 trees there would be those black alien trees.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay.
If you wanted to do anything with those.
I do kind of
Well,
want
I
to check them
would've-
out.
But not with the sentry right there.
Let me move the thing between windows. Windows. Ugh. Trying to move one of my active windows to my other monitor, and it's like, oh, we're gonna stop you at the middle because you want this to snap and take up half, right? I'm
Oh.
like, no.
Yeah, I have that issue all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hit the correct escape velocity of the monitor.
Yeah. Which is sometimes slow and sometimes fast. All right, so what is the plan?
I'm okay standing watch here. Like, I don't want to stealth more than I have to. I know that you, Petalin, are quiet. So if you wanted to, like, grab some of the foliage or anything off the tree that we can investigate later, or just do it yourself
That's-
while you're there.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And since I mean, I have the rope of climbing, so I could potentially sneak over there, scurry up, grab a twig with some leaves on it, and hurry back.
Can I push my way up to where Udinar is,
Okay.
and then hand him one of the bottles? Say, hold this, and then I will
Okay.
weave a spell and cast Mage Hand to float over and grab a fistful of leaves and come back.
Oh, that's handy.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah, sure. That wouldn't be too loud. You're not snapping a branch or anything. Trying to think of what plant to describe for these leaves. No. Just look at it. I'll know which one it is. Tree species. The fuck is this? How do you even pronounce this? I'm gonna put this in. No, I like those. Like
Oh,
that.
do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
Okay, it's pronounced Jacaranda mimosifolia.
but that doesn't matter. It's more like the mental image that these, but like Vanta Black.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Is that the
It's
one you
pronounced
touch and it like
bananas.
recoils?
I'm sorry. What did you say, Rumble?
Is that like the leaves when you touch them they fold up?
I don't know. But I can tell you that as the mage hand comes back over to you, you can see that the individual little leaves definitely have that same like light absorption quality, though not nearly as intense. And that the actual stem that they're attached to is like a little it's fuzzy. There even appears to be a couple of nuts attached to it, like 3 or 4.
But it's this really fine kind of ferny leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the mage hand will float over to Petalin expectantly,
Ah.
and then just
Ooh.
drop them.
I catch them. Well, I like hold my
Uh,
palms out for it to give it to me.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Here we go.
All right. Nice.
All right. You notice that the oil from the leaves, as it touches your hand, they begin to tingle and like slightly burn, and so you quickly drop the on the ground.
Ooh. Yeah,
That-
don't touch those.
Inspecting your hand, you can see that the tiny little fuzzy fibers are still embedded in the palm where you caught it.
Ah, jeez. That's gonna be fun to try and get out later.
I'm gonna take my bottle back from Udinar.
Yeah, I'll hand it back.
All right, I'm sure I've got something in here that can put these leaves in.
Yeah, I'm looking as well.
Honestly, something like a box would be best because you don't want to wrap it in cloth because the fibers will get stuck in the cloth. Oh, I don't know if we have any boxes though.
I actually do.
Oh, do you?
I have an alms box because it comes with a priest's pack.
Okay.
I collected
Darby,
many
you-
alms out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Darby, you want to mage hand that into the alms box?
Darby sighs and then hands the bottle back to Udinardo and casts the spell again to put him into the box.
Okay.
Also, what kind of sailor knows how to do all this magic that you've been doing?
That's
A good one.
a story for another time.
Yeah, probably
I'm
when we're
just saying,
safer.
I'm just saying that Egg spent a lot of time on a boat, and you don't see him casting a lot of fiddly stuff.
I was a slave.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was a slave.
You do understand that all sorts get on boats, right?
Well,
There was a
yes.
powerful
but
witch on the ship I served on that killed everyone. So
Are you saying that your brother is a powerful witch?
I'm just saying, there's people with no magic on boats.
Okay, but did you know that your brother could do magic? Because you didn't exactly mention it.
I hadn't seen him since we were small children. Like, such shit happens. Life happens.
Okay.
Darby just kind of shrugs, still holding two bottles.
Yeah. I'll
He
put the
is
alms
not
box
putting
back
these down.
in my
My
pack.
hands hurt.
All right, we should probably continue.
Are we sneaking away?
Unless somebody else wants to do something, I am down for that.
Do
I
we
can
wanna
put you
wait
all in
until
the
they-
hole and sneak away.
Actually, you know what? I would actually like to jump in. I'm too loud.
Just for a second.
We don't have room in this alleyway to really open it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can put it on
Okay.
a wall.
Yeah, you can put it on the wall. There you go. Boom. Hole in the wall.
All right, I'll walk in. No.
Egg, how about you? Oh, you don't wear armor anymore, do you?
I never wore heavy armor.
Okay, so nobody else in the hole?
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
good.
does Udinar wears heavy armor? So you're proficient in heavy armor?
No, I don't wear heavy armor.
Oh, then why are you disadvantaged on stealth checks? I thought that was only on heavy armor.
I think it's from scale.
I think
Hold on.
certain mediums give you.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll double check just to make sure that I'm not screwing myself, but yeah.
I mean, if it's on the item, then
Yeah, and it's applying it automatically with the roll
Mhm.
because of
Yep.
my item.
yeah.
So,
You guys don't have any of your inventory mapped to locations, and it drives me nuts.
the locations.
Wow, I do.
Oh, sorry, I didn't look at yours.
I have some of mine.
Yours is actually the only one I didn't look at, I think. Oh, I like how your backpack still says empty on it, even though it's clearly not empty.
Yeah, it's because it's pulling from that top title.
Yeah. Well, you can
Oh, yeah.
change that.
Yeah, I know. Too lazy.
So if you guys didn't know, in Fantasy Grounds, you can assign a location to each of your items, and it will actually nest them. So like under your backpack, if you take off the little empty thing and then you write backpack under something else, it will nest all of those items underneath the backpack.
Oh, I see.
Ooh.
Okay.
And you can do that with like belt. You can do it with worn, basically anything. Because you guys should all also have a belt, because I think it comes when everybody's starting. Like your background should provide you with a belt.
That makes sense, yeah.
That way you can put weapons on a belt, things in backpack. That way it's never like, oh, where is this on my person?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we now have mysterious black plant.
In the alms
And-
box.
Yes, in the alms box. And the plan is
Well, Udinar's in the hole, and I'm going to sneak away with the hole.
Okay.
I assume that you guys are coming with me.
Yep.
Susanna, you are breathing right into the mic. Yes, like that, but slower. All right, so you're sneaking. Egg is sneaking. Darby is also sneaking. Where are you wanting to go now? That's what I need to know.
I think we took our
Yeah,
couple of
we-
hours.
Yeah, we putzed around, so we're on
So
our
it
way
is-
out.
Okay. So a few more hours later. Let's see then.
I mean, obviously, I'm only going to sneak far enough away to be kind of clear of the construct, and then
Well-
I'm going to let Udnar out.
Well, as you bounce from tree to tree to tree, you'll notice that you don't see any sign of the sentries below. You're not sure where they went.
Why am I way over the hill by myself?
Well, I mean, everybody would be with you. I was just giving you a
Okay,
visual representation of where you are, so
Okay,
that
well,
you
then
see that you don't see the sentries.
Okay, well, then I guess I'll let Udnar out, and we'll just keep going.
Okay. You
Sounds good.
flop him out of the hole once again, and you guys make your way back. I need, since this seems to be the running theme, go ahead and give me 2 more group stealth checks. Okay, then. Thanks to the law of how stealth works, like you guys are actually going to make it. So, there are a couple more close calls as you make your way back to the ruined tower, but you are able to expertly navigate your way quietly and undetected past a few more stone sentries. Eventually, you do make your make it to the outer wall of the city, and upon passing through, it's almost like you can suddenly hear again for the first time as the rich sounds of all the various life and the sound of the sea and all that stuff just hits you once again. Like having landed from a plane, and then like a couple hours later when the hearing is back to normal. You make your way quickly up to the tower itself, And I suppose this is where you'll wait for the sun to finish setting. Is there anything you want to do in the meantime?
I'd like to spend some time inspecting and whatever the medallion that I got from the jewelry shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in general, if
It
you
is-
lay out the medallions, I'll do my detect magic.
I'll just hand them all to you because Darby's gonna try his new liquors.
Okay.
Oh shit! I should do something about my hands, shouldn't I?
Not really. You made the Constitution save.
Okay.
It's more like you can pluck out the little fibers with some effort, but I'm not making you roll for that.
Okay.
Egg will time inspecting his new weapon.
Okay. All right. So, Egg's taking a look at the weird spear. Darby is testing some.
Top of
It's
the
like
tower, keeping an quote unquote keeping an eye out.
I would describe it as like, imagine if somebody from Brazil tried Russian vodka and was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own vodka. It's like that.
Mm.
It is the elven interpretation of some human spirits, or perhaps, let's say human spirits. Petalin, as you hold the silver medallion with the black burnished sigil of Mordrak, you feel almost like there's a bridge between you and the voice that you've heard in your head so many times recently, like rather than a muddy pathway, there's actually a little bit of a clear line of communication that can be had, but for whatever reason it's like you don't speak the language to cross it.
Cool.
And then Udinar, you cast detect magic, and the hammer with the d6 head, the spider. Well, no, not this way. So the hammer with the d6 head and the dolphin are the only two that really light up. In fact, there is a noted absence. Do you touch any of them?
Yeah, I was handed them, so I would be
Okay,
kind of like
so then
going through them one by one.
Okay, so as you handle the ones with the spider, or the one with the spider, there's just like it's a almost empty rather than just like holding a metallic amulet. Like something is missing. Same with the skull on with the fireball background and the oak leaf and acorn. In fact, as you're holding those two specifically, you feel your own medallion begin to whir and just buzz and hum with life. And like it's almost familiar to you.
Interesting. Okay.
And then there are the two blanks, which as you take one of them into your hand, you feel an overwhelming compulsion to just close your fist around it tightly.
I'll do so.
When you do so, there is like the smell of like. Any of you ever been in a blacksmith shop while they're hammering at something, like in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welded.
Yes, welding is a really good way to. You know that smell that you get with welding?
Oh, I love
of
it.
like that
yeah.
superheated metal. Yeah, so
Yep.
like that, it's that scent that just kind of courses through the air, and as you open your palm, you'll see the three sigils of your deity all interlaid on top of each other in this coin, like in this medallion.
Almost like I imprinted on it somehow.
Yes.
Holy shit. Well, that's something to ponder for a moment. How does my
Okay.
how does my hand look after this?
Fine.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Okay. Just like.
I'm
Mhm.
I'm really tempted to try with the other blank.
I get nothing from the other blank, right? It's just kind of like an empty
Oh no!
piece of metal.
As you
or-
get to it, you feel the same sensation.
Oh. Okay. Weird. Did it hurt at all?
No, not at all.
So can you run down through the list again? Like the hammer and the dolphin were non-magic. The
No,
spider
they
was
were
non-magic.
magic.
No.
Okay.
The hammer and the dolphin are.
The spider
The
it
spider-
felt a void of magic, like it was empty or missing some.
Mm-hmm.
The skull with
same
fire.
with the
Mhm.
Same with the skull and the oak leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all three of those were the non-magic void.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then 2 blanks, one of which I just imprinted or something on. And the other one I'm just going to kind of leave off to the side for now. Because I'm not going to lie, that threw me off a little bit. So I'm pondering that right now.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Oh, and if anybody else
Okay.
wants to know, I'll point out if their thing's magic or not, I guess.
I don't think it is, but just double check on the spear.
It is not.
Got you. I'm guessing the alcohol is also not.
It is not.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that
Oh.
coin that we found magic?
Oh yeah.
It is not.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, the sun will set, and there is no sign of Nora. It is now probably 20 to 30 minutes after, or I'll give it an hour. So an hour after sundown, and no sign of Norith.
Shit. Do you think they got him?
It's very possible.
It's most likely, in fact.
Ugh. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's a shame. Now we're going to have to
If-
find our own way off here.
Well, if the druids are coming back in 5 more days,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, potentially.
I mean, the druids are bringing over the soul gem in 5 days.
Yeah. We need more information. For sure.
You guys just want to camp here?
Honestly, I'm looking
Well-
for a moment to slip away from the group to commune with the gods.
You know these people. You can literally just tell them, "I'm going to slip away for a little bit."
Yeah, I'll tell them like
You don't need to hide for them from
I'm
them.
gonna
Just-
tell them
just don't-
the hammer with the D6 head thing, the dolphin thing are magic. The spider one is empty. And then I'm gonna tell them what happened with this one, and I need to like find out what's going on with that.
Okay.
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 Well, just don't go too far.
Yeah, I mean I'm just basically out of earshot, like not far.
Mhm.
You can see
Alright,
me still.
Yeah.
Remember our
away.
safe word.
Banana.
Bananas, plural.
Oh right.
You slip away.
I also left the other medallions in case people wanted to take a look at them or something.
Okay.
By the way. So, yeah, I mean, the obvious thing happens where so I'm going to change it up this time. I'm not actually going to grab my medallion that I use usually. The one that I imprinted on, I'm going to focus on that and see if I feel anything.
Hold on one second. Sorry, I just had a message come through. So run
problem.
that by me one more time.
So rather than like meditate and focus on the medallion I usually do that spins, I'm going to do it to this new one that I imprinted on
Okay.
and see if I feel anything.
In fact, as you do so, you find that it's almost like three voices merged into one, into your mind. And they ask, for what do you beseech us, child? Or, why have you called upon us, chosen one? How can we help? What do you need? What are you buying?
What are you buying?
Poof,
Yeah.
what do you need? Poof, what do you need?
What are you buying?
What are you
What are you selling?
Okay. How is it that I'm able to commune with you entirely now? What has changed with this medallion I'm using?
We are just as confused as you.
Do you prefer this?
We don't have a preference. We are.
There were multiple medallions, not just this one. I'm sure you felt
Correct? Yes. A familiarity. With two specifically.
it. Mordrak.
No. More like a relative.
The oaken skull.
Yes. Like, as a mortal would describe it, the scent of one's mother. A long time after passing.
I see. I will find out more about them and use them appropriately then.
You needn't. They are no more.
Well, then I will hold them with reverence.
The choice that is yours to make. But, yes, Mordrak. His influence is here even now. The littlest one is a conduit to him. We can sense it every time you're near.
Should I be worried?
No, he desires something, and we aren't sure what it is yet, but we feel that our goals would be naturally aligned.
Is there any chance I'm able to speak with him as I do you?
Perhaps in time, if you work with the little one, if what we believe is true, then yes.
Well, I will teach her how to commune then and come back with information as I receive it.
The other, the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
He walks among you.
Currently?
It's
Or in the same plane?
The presence that we had mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
that belongs. They belong together. They are one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And of the spider?
A fortunate loss, if our understanding is to be believed.
Perhaps I can prod what that understanding would be?
Not at this time. Just know that all that is strives for a balance, and that for every loss, there must, in time, be a rebirth. As a mortal, you should hope that the spider's rebirth is like our own and comes with a shift.
Hmm. And the dolphin?
Not much is known, just that the energy is there, likely along with Mordrak.
Interesting. So these are conduits for specifically for the gods.
Well,
These
clerics like yourself would call them holy symbols.
what type of magic or what type of patron would be able to make a holy symbol that you can imprint on, that one could imprint their deities' symbols on?
None that we are aware of.
How curious. Okay. I think I have information that I need. Thank you.
So while Udinar's off having a chat with the godparents, into camp stumbles Noreth, seemingly no worse for wear than when you last saw him. One arm still bound, definitely some blood on the blade of his sword. The bow still strung across his back, and for the most perceptive among you, you'll notice that he's several arrows lighter in his quiver. But otherwise, he trudges into camp, glances at each of you, gives you a gruff grunt, and then casts his tiny hut once again.
It's good to see that you're alive. We had some questions.
As he finishes casting the spell, he'll turn around and say, "Yes, I expected as much. Did you wait here all day? Not a single scratch on you, save for the oil on that man over there."
No, we did venture into the city. We just tread carefully. Thank you for your warnings.
What did you find?
Well, we found a gate into the second level of the city and a way
The inner
past
city.
it. The inner city, yes. And a way past it, but we didn't go really into the inner city as we wondered what dangers lay in the, I think you called it the night road.
Yes, a marvelous necessity of the ancestors that once called this city their home. The night road keeps all light out. As such, you could imagine that the limitations which keep the specters and spirits of the outer city at bay are not quite so prevalent within. My brothers and sisters and I attempted to venture into the heart, but it was always along the night road that we suffered our heaviest losses. There is no safety in the night road.
And
Not
no
unless you
way,
can find the light.
and no way into the city other than the night road.
I mean, I'm sure the power of flight, but even those of us that tried that ended up not returning, and I couldn't tell you why. I can tell you that the city was created deliberately in such a way that to access the heart, you must travel through all the layers of the city itself. My understanding is that there is some sort of ensorcelment or enchantment which confuses or dazes those that try to circumvent the natural pathways.
Hmm.
Look, I said I would answer questions if you had them, and you've asked me many. If there's nothing else, I'm going to retire for the evening.
Would you not come with us into the city? I'm
I
sure
think
we
it
could use
best.
your experience.
I think it best that I resume my search for the prince and complete the task that I am here to complete on my own.
I'm gonna
I'm sure
grab.
you can understand, but I don't know you.
I'm
What are you
gonna
grabbing?
grab the rock that I pulled out of the lantern and just say,
Uh-huh.
"What's this?"
So you fetch the rock from your bag, and as you pull it out, you notice that it is glowing a bright orange.
Oh,
And this is around the time that you would probably wander back into camp.
yeah. I saw them
you'll see
talking,
that
so I
he's-
figured I would
yeah.
ask.
Yeah. So Unanar wanders back into camp holding an orange rock, or a rock that is glowing orange, giving off a fairly bright light. And North will look over at you and say, "So you did venture into the night road."
We took a peek.
Hmm.
I'm assuming
And
this only
aga-
happens at a certain time during the day, then?
Yes, it is one of the city's lights.
Hmm. A little disappointed we didn't just sleep there during the day and travel through the night road at night now. Because now we wasted a day almost.
Oh, I don't know. Darby got his liquor.
Also, I mean the light is I said bright, but really it's a soft, far-reaching light.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really bright so much as it's like, well, I mean in game terms it would give you like a 60-foot radius of low light.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I don't know anything about
30-foot
Drow,
radius.
my character.
Hmm.
So
I don't
Right,
either.
you don't. And
So-
right.
I would ask him what manner of people would black out the sun yet require light at night.
Well, my ancestors, such as they were, are particularly sensitive to the light of the sun. But being the peoples that they were, those among them that did require light to see would need some way to navigate the inner city.
Interesting. Seems odd to build a city above ground then if you are
He-
sensitive
he-
to light.
He looks at you a bit puzzled and he says, "No, they didn't build the city. They were gifted it."
Who gifted it to them?
Yeah, that's some new info.
It's something that we have wanted to learn ourselves. There are missing pieces of history in the Lothanar archives. We just know that there was a point in time before the Sundering when our families were one, and at some point after, when they were gifted this city, my direct ancestors chose to settle the islands of Tolmuina. And he looks at you kind of puzzled again. He's like, "Really? You didn't know any of this, and yet you're here?"
Uh-huh.
It's
Wow.
generally not in our job description to know, just to do.
Unfortunate. At this point in time, however, I am exhausted and will be retiring for the evening.
Come
Again,
now. You tell us you don't know us, but then don't want to spend time to get to know us.
not particularly no.
Yeah, he's definitely an elf. That's an elf thing right there.
Isn't it more likely that the prince is on the other side of the night road?
He looks at you very pointedly and says, "Where do you think I've spent my day?"
Well, wouldn't you have a better chance crossing the night road with us?
I don't think so.
Why?
He'll step forward and pick up a stick and poke your armor, and then poke Udinar's armor, and be like, "I believe that I am much quieter than a lot of you, and know my way around this kind of architecture a bit better than strangers that don't even know the origin of the place that they're coming to."
I'm sorry, who here is tired from fighting? And who here snuck through the city without fighting at all?
Right. And yet I am the one who's discovering information, while you come here to ask basic questions.
You've been here longer than us.
Oh,
Look, survive another night, and we'll discuss the opportunity of working together. But survive another night, venturing into the city, and come to me with information to earn that trust. And then, perhaps, you will be people worth knowing.
Okay.
we're not making this trip back every night. We should meet somewhere within the walls if we're to meet again.
Then you are doomed.
Well, that's what they all say.
As one last piece of friendly advice, strongly urge you not to sleep within the walls of the city.
Sounds like good advice to me.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on that.
Well, we'll not trouble you again tonight, I suppose, but I would plan on seeing us again.
I hope for your sake that that's true. Perhaps then we can share information.
Should we ask about the leaf, or will that make us seem real dumb?
I think the latter.
I think we wait until we learn more ourselves.
Okay.
Okay. just cause you know.
Just cause, you know.
Yep.
All right, so we'll call this another long rest. We're going to go ahead and take our 10 minutes here. And unless you guys have something incredibly important, we're just going to go ahead and breeze through the rest.
All
right, I'm not hearing anything incredibly important. So in 10 minutes, when we come back, we'll cut the rest and we'll go ahead and just get started with the next day.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gonna turn my nighttime music on for the rest.